Spartacus was a gladiator, a man who fought for his life in the brutal arenas of ancient Rome. He fought in the arena for the entertainment of crowds, who cheered for blood and spectacle. He was a skilled warrior, forced into slavery, his freedom stripped away. Capua was his prison, a city known for its gladiatorial games, where men fought and died for sport. Spartacus was not Roman by birth. His origins are unclear, shrouded in mystery and legend. He may have been a Thracian soldier, a fierce warrior from the lands to the north of Greece. He might have even served in the Roman army before his capture, fighting for the very empire that would enslave him. Life as a gladiator was harsh. Training was brutal, designed to break the spirit and harden the body. The threat of death was constant, a shadow that loomed over every fight. Spartacus endured this life in Capua, a city that thrived on the blood of gladiators. He trained in the Ludus, a gladiatorial school where men were turned into killing machines. He fought in the arena, facing other gladiators and wild animals, each battle a fight for survival. Every day was a struggle for survival, a test of strength and will. His spirit, however, remained unbroken. He yearned for freedom, dreaming of a life beyond the arena. Life in the Ludus was harsh. Gladiators had little freedom. They were treated as mere property, their lives dictated by the whims of their owners. Every day was a struggle for survival, both in the arena and within the confines of the training school. They trained constantly under the watchful eyes of their trainers. Their diet was basic, consisting mostly of grains and occasional meat. Their movements were restricted, confined to the Ludus unless they were being taken to the arena. The constant training was grueling, designed to break their spirits and mold them into perfect fighters for the entertainment of the masses. Conditions in Capua fueled Spartacus's desire for escape. The city was wealthy, a stark contrast to the lives of the gladiators. The opulence of Capua was a daily reminder of the inequality and injustice that Spartacus and his fellow gladiators faced. The wealth of the city was built on the backs of slaves, and this realization only deepened Spartacus's resolve. Its citizens enjoyed lavish spectacles. Gladiatorial contests were popular, drawing large crowds who reveled in the bloodshed. The games were a form of mass entertainment, a way for the citizens to escape their own lives by watching the suffering of others. This culture of violence and spectacle was something Spartacus could not accept. The brutality of these games disgusted Spartacus. He saw firsthand the senseless violence and the way human life was cheapened for the sake of entertainment. The arena was a place of death, where gladiators were forced to fight to the death for the amusement of the crowd. He saw the cruelty of the Romans. The way they treated slaves and gladiators was inhumane. Spartacus witnessed countless acts of brutality, from beatings to executions, all designed to instill fear and maintain control. This cruelty was a constant reminder of the need for change. Spartacus also witnessed the despair of his fellow gladiators. Many had lost hope, resigned to their fate as slaves. The weight of their chains was not just physical, but also psychological, breaking their spirits and stripping them of their will to fight. They were slaves, stripped of their dignity. Many lost hope. The constant oppression and lack of freedom took a toll on their mental and emotional well-being. They were treated as less than human, their lives valued only for the entertainment they could provide. Spartacus refused to let that happen to him. He was determined to fight for his freedom and the freedom of his fellow gladiators. His spirit remained unbroken, and he became a symbol of resistance and hope. He saw the strength in his fellow gladiators. Despite their suffering, there was a bond between them, a shared sense of purpose and a desire for freedom. This camaraderie gave Spartacus the strength to continue his fight. He believed they could be free. Spartacus envisioned a future where they could live as free men, no longer bound by the chains of slavery. This vision fueled his determination and inspired those around him to join the fight for their freedom. Escape seemed impossible. The Ludus was heavily guarded. The gladiators were watched constantly. Yet Spartacus was determined. He saw an opportunity. Spartacus began to secretly rally his fellow gladiators. He spoke of freedom. He shared his plan. He chose his allies carefully. He needed men who were strong and brave. He needed men who yearned for freedom as much as he did. The plan was daring. They would seize weapons from the armory. They would fight their way out of the ludus. They would escape into the countryside. Success depended on secrecy, timing, and courage. The night of the escape arrived. Tension filled the air. Spartacus and his followers were ready. They moved swiftly and silently. They overpowered their guards and seized weapons from the armory. Chaos erupted in the ludus. The gladiators fought with the desperation of men fighting for their lives. They spilled out into the streets of Capua. The escape was a chaotic scramble. The gladiators, about 70 in number, fled into the night. They had no time to celebrate their victory. They had to keep moving. Roman soldiers would soon be on their trail. News of the escape reached Roman authorities. At first, they dismissed it as a minor disturbance. They underestimated Spartacus and his followers. They sent a small force to recapture the escaped slaves. They believed it would be an easy task. They were wrong. Spartacus and his gladiators were skilled fighters. They ambushed the Roman detachment and seized their weapons and armor. The victory over the Roman soldiers was a turning point. It proved that Spartacus and his followers were a force to be reckoned with. It also attracted more slaves to their cause. Spartacus's rebellion was growing in strength. The escape from Capua was a pivotal moment in the history of Rome. It wasn't just a simple breakout. It was a bold statement against the oppressive Roman regime. Spartacus and his fellow gladiators defied the odds, breaking free from their chains and igniting a spark of rebellion that would soon engulf the Roman Empire. It marked the beginning of the Third Servile War, the largest slave revolt in Roman history. This war was not just a series of battles. It was a fight for freedom, a struggle for dignity, and a quest for justice. The slaves, led by Spartacus, challenged the might of Rome, showing incredible bravery and resilience. Spartacus's name would forever be etched in the annals of history. His leadership and vision turned a group of desperate slaves into a formidable force. His story has been told and retold through the ages, symbolizing the eternal fight against oppression. Spartacus's daring escape was an inspiration to the oppressed. It showed that even in the darkest of times, hope and courage could prevail. His actions gave a voice to the voiceless and a sense of power to the powerless. It showed that even the most powerful empire could be challenged. The Roman Empire, with all its might and resources, was not invincible. Spartacus's rebellion exposed the vulnerabilities of a society that thrived on the subjugation of others. His rebellion, though ultimately crushed, exposed the inherent weakness of a society built on slavery. It forced the Romans to confront the moral and ethical implications of their actions. The legacy of Spartacus's revolt would linger, influencing future generations and inspiring countless other movements for freedom. The escape from Capua was just the beginning. It was the first step in a long and arduous journey that would see Spartacus and his followers face numerous challenges and hardships. Spartacus's journey had just begun. With each passing day, his army grew stronger, and their resolve became firmer. They traversed the Roman landscape, spreading their message of resistance and hope. He would go on to lead his army of slaves to victory after victory against the might of Rome. These victories were not just military triumphs, they were symbolic victories for all those who yearned for freedom. His legend would continue to grow. Spartacus became a symbol of resistance, a beacon of hope for the oppressed, and a reminder that the human spirit can never be truly conquered. Spartacus's escape from Capua was more than just a breakout from a gladiatorial school. It was a symbol of defiance against oppression. It was a testament to the human desire for freedom. Spartacus's story continues to resonate today, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, hope can bloom and chains can be broken.